All right. Moving on to tech. Microsoft wants an industry-wide moderation after New Zealand. So they put out this blog post called "A Tragedy That Calls for More Than Words: The Need for the Tech Sector to Learn and Act After Events in New Zealand." 4 months ago, when our Microsoft team first had plans for a visit to New Zealand that began yesterday, we did not expect to arrive on the heels of a violent terrorist attack that would kill innocent people, horrify a nation, and shock the world. Like so many other people around the globe, across Microsoft, we mourn the victims and our hearts go out to their families and loved ones. This includes 2 of the individuals killed who were part of the broader Microsoft partner community. Words are not alone are not enough. Across the tech sector, we need to do more, especially for those who operate social networks or digital communication tools or platforms that were used to amplify the violence. It's clear that we need to learn from and take new action based on what happened in Christchurch. So essentially, they said, like, we should basically, us as a tech community and the communications community, should take it upon ourselves. Shout out for the follow. Who was that? Let me make sure. Shout out to him, Hokage, for the follow. Basically, because of this situation, they want to take. They think it's their responsibility to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And by this, I mean there was a distribution of his stream, his live stream of this horrific, fucking mass murder, and the distribution of it was like rampant. It happened very quickly. I don't know if you can stop something like that. But they do want to, Microsoft is saying we should come together and figure out solutions to make this part of our responsibility to make sure that this doesn't happen. I think, personally, the opposite. I think that stuff like this needs to spread. I think stuff like this needs to get distributed. Will it create more radicalization amongst certain people? Sure. But I think ultimately it does more good than it does harm. The more people you expose to like horrific stuff like this, the more you kind of harden the world. The more these people are like, holy shit, this is what's going on. This is how people are acting because of certain words and certain things. I don't think suppressing any sort of information is ever a good idea. It's tricky. Yeah, I understand it's tricky.
Those, like, I agree with your principle there, but I can see how there are some exceptions to the rule, if that makes sense.
This would be a pretty big exception. You know what I mean? This would be the exception. A mass murder being filmed.
But also, it's also like the way the mass murder went down, things like that. Like this.
Like I get it. I get it.
No one needs to actually see what this was.
No, I
this
don't. I don't.
Was Live League. This was fucking horrific.
Yeah, I don't. I agree there that I don't think anyone should view it, but I also don't think that it should be immediately suppressed. I don't think there should be algorithms put in place to try to prevent stuff like this, because I think that this is just going to happen, and I do think the distribution of information is more powerful than it is negative.
Right. I again agree with the principle. It's just
and how do you even stop it?
Yeah, that I have no idea, and
they're just going to come up with dumb ways that are just going to do more harm than good, I think.
Same time, I don't know if Microsoft's actually going to do anything about it. I doubt it. But I do like them putting this out just because it is an ethical question. And
yeah, it's like them saying, like, should we be responsible for this?
Yeah, like it's an ethical quandary that should actually be discussed. And like, what is that role? Like, it goes down to like developers too, of like, what is an ethical developer? And it's asking a question of, does this pertain to that or not? And I do kind of like it from that standpoint.
Yeah.
Of actually getting people to like wonder, or at least come up with arguments on both sides of what the correct response is.
Yeah, it's an interesting debate and topic, because I do get it. I do understand why you would want to not distribute stuff like this, you know? But then again, what's the line? Is this the line? Because they're still distributing Mein Kampf. You know what I mean? They're still distributing a lot of like the KKK materials. Like, it's kind of like part of history, and it's kind of what changes people's the global narrative. And this this was a pretty big event that did kind of tell people, like, look, there is this crazy radicalization going on. There's this huge divide, and it's getting really violent now. And I think hopefully people learn from it and say, all right, let's get our shit together and stop arguing about dumb shit. But then again, you're also allowing the video of a mass murder to be distributed amongst other people. So it's tricky. I don't know the answer, but it's good to see this debate to be brought up by these tech companies because ultimately it was done on their platforms. You know, I don't know if specifically Microsoft is to be held responsible. Where did he live stream it to? Was it YouTube or Facebook?
I don't know. I didn't watch live stream. I just saw re-uploads.
I didn't see it either.
And don't. That's my recommendation.
No,
Don't.
I didn't see it either. I don't know where it was live streamed. I just heard it was. But I'm curious because I don't know if we've heard anything else. If it was announced by anyone, if it was live streamed, like if it was on Facebook, I didn't hear Facebook come out and say their feeling on the matter.
And well, it is an interesting is also like all of these companies are definitely have a lot of shit in their closet.
Grimes says he thinks it's Facebook, by the way.
I could see that.
I think so too.
It's one of those like all of these companies have a lot of they all have a lot of skeletons in their closets, but it is at the top. I don't expect any of these companies to change.